That was close. So I was thinking about using my GoPro to vlog, but the downside to that is in order to get good audio, I have to use an external audio device of some sort. And I was thinking about using my iPhone like this as a recording device and then syncing it up in post, but that seems like a whole bunch of unnecessary steps. And apparently you can get these adapters that plug into the GoPro HDMI input that can act as microphone input, and you can use like lavalier like mics and stuff like that, but that costs money and I don't feel like spending money right now, so I figured might as well just use my iPhone since it has a headphone jack input already. So yeah. Also, I'm skateboarding right now, as you can see. I also just realized that I'm riding on Oak Street. I don't want to get a different angle because I'll be in the middle of the street if I do that. But I'm riding on Oak Street, and that is actually the street that I live on. I'm sure it's not the exact same one considering it breaks up in a whole bunch of spots. But that's cool. Yeah, right now I'm just cruising down the streets. I was gonna start filming when I was closer to campus, but I had to wait until I was about half a mile away because there's too many people walking around and it was hard to navigate through them, and there's lots of bumps and stuff, so it's hard to skateboard with this tiny skateboard over that. So I waited until I could find a quieter part of the streets. So I'm doing that now. Going over actually, I was about to just ride my skateboard over some train tracks, but that wouldn't be a good idea considering that huge gap. So at my school that I'm going to, Missouri University of Science and Technology, I'm sure a lot of other schools do this too, but they have a career fair where basically a whole bunch of companies come down and set up booths in a big open area, and you go and talk to them and supposedly get a job or an internship out of the whole deal. And yeah, it's at least a very good way to build a network of people. It's a good way to start doing that, since that's an important part of finding jobs. I don't know. Anyways, wow, that sun is completely messing up my exposure. Just gonna wait until I crest this hill so that you can see my beautiful face. There we go. Anyways, where was I going with that? Oh yeah. So, last week, basically every morning I have a class called weightlifting, and it's basically PE. And the teacher, let's see, this was last Monday I think, the teacher said that, oh my gosh, I'm going down a huge hill. Oh, that's a four-way, okay. I need to slow down. Oh, this is scary. Luckily this is a four-way, so I don't see, oh my gosh, I'm wiggling. That was terrifying. What the heck am I doing? Okay. So yeah, last Monday, the gym teacher, I'm going to stop going down these huge hills and take a turn. For the 1000th time, where was I? I think I was talking, okay. So last Monday, the gym teacher said that he's going to cancel this week's class. Today's Monday. This week's class because, oh gosh, it's another big hill. It's totally cool. It's totally cool. It's totally cool. That was scary. I'm so done with these big hills. I don't remember where it was. Skateboards need like electronic brakes or something like that. I'm just gonna walk for a while. So when I was going down that hill, there was a whole bunch of people outside watching, and one thing I've learned about skateboards is if you go really fast, there's a point where they start wiggling back and forth really fast, and it gets really scary. And it was getting up to that point, and I was coming up to a stop sign on a T-joint on the street, and it would have been fine if it was a four-way because I could see if there's cars stopping up. I didn't know if there's going to be a car coming down the street. There wasn't, so it would have been fine if I went through it, but I don't want to risk it and slam into a car. So I decided to jump off, and thankfully my balance is good enough that I can just jump off and it's not a big deal. This looks like a flat street, so maybe I can continue my story. Okay, so my gym teacher canceled today's weightlifting class. His reasoning was, quote, "I want you all to get jobs, therefore I am canceling class on Monday," which is the 21st. So when Monday came around in the morning, I was like, okay, I don't have gym class this morning because it's the career fair, so I'm going to get ready in my nice suit and dress up and take all the time to iron and do all that crap. And I get about 2 minutes away from the entrance of the place after walking 10 minutes from my dorm and realize that today is September 21st and the career fair is tomorrow, September 22nd. So I don't actually know if I did have gym class, weightlifting class or not. But yeah, basically my morning consisted of running around, getting my clothes ready, and then it turning out to be I didn't have to until tomorrow, and I didn't go to gym class. I guess I should have gone in to see if they're actually doing it, but it would have been too late at that point anyways, because the class is from 9 to 9:50, and I went at 11. But yeah, so all the career fair companies and stuff have been setting up today, I assume, because I've seen a lot of them walking around in their nice little company polos and such. Whenever I see those kinds of people, it really turns me away from that whole corporate idea of working in a large building with, well, I don't know how to word this. This is another hill. This is not cool. I guess I need to practice emergency brake. This is really awkward. Okay. So anyways, oh, this hurts my arch of my foot so bad. Probably like completely ruining my feet too. Oh, that's a stop sign down there, so I definitely need to stop for that. Maybe I'll get to the bottom and then go back up. That looks like a busy street. I'll just see what it is. I wonder if it's possible for me to install brakes on these things without it being too clunky. This looks like a flat street. If it's not a main road, that would be a nice place to go. Okay, so balance is tricky on these small boards. So yeah, whenever I see those people, it just makes me like, ugh, I don't want to work for big companies. I'm better than that. I feel like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like me. But chances are, in today's world, I probably couldn't survive unless I had some, like, amazing idea that changed the world. And it's certainly possible, but chances are it's not going to happen. But crossing the street. But that doesn't mean I can do projects like that on the side because that's what truly makes me happy, is doing stuff like that, doing stuff that I want to do, doing projects that I want to do, and that fun stuff. And in order to do that, I would need some sort of income flow to keep that going, which is why working for a company, a well-established company, might be a good idea, so I can have money to support that. And if something goes really, really right with my side projects, then maybe I can quit that big job, and yeah. So there's that. I haven't really been paying attention to how far I've been skateboarding, and I feel really far away from campus right now. So basically, the only class I had today was Math 1103, Fundamentals of Algebra. And it was incredibly boring, because basically the reason I'm in that class is because I totally failed on the placement exam, which is understandable considering my, I'm homeschooled, so I haven't had a structured learning plan that has followed what all the public and private schools are doing. So when I take a test that's tailored to their knowledge, no wonder I fail. I'm not saying I'm better at math than them, it's just I feel like I would do fine in the upper level classes, but obviously my foundation isn't good enough to support that. But it's no big deal. I'll get there eventually. Because at heart, I like math because it's cool. I didn't always, but over the years, I've come to like it more because it's a lot like programming. And you got rock, and you can pick apart the world in front of you, which is awesome. Considering I'm going up a big hill, probably means there's going to be a big downhill on the other side, in which case I'm turning around because I don't want to deal with another scary downhill. I'm getting sweaty. I'm going to take a shower after this. The one downside to using my iPhone is when you record, as I'm sure you know, if you're an iPhone user, you can't play music through the headphones. And that's one of my favorite parts about skateboarding, is being able to, maybe I'll turn down here, is being able to relax and listen to music, so that kind of sucks. But at the same time, it's really nice talking. So yeah, this is a nice flat road, but it's about to go downhill again. You'd think downhills would be great on skateboards, and they are, as long as they're not incredibly steep, because then it just gets out of control and you can't use it. Just like running. When you're running downhill, it's great, unless it's super steep, because then your legs can only handle so much and they start to go faster than you can handle, and you just waste energy or fall over. One of the two. Oh my goodness. That was close. See, that's kind of, if you can see it wobbling a little bit, that's kind of what happens when you go down these fast hills. Let's see if I can emergency brake. Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It's just really, really terrifying to take your foot off the skateboard when it's going that fast, because one small imbalance and you're over. I suppose I should start figuring out my route back to campus, maybe. What else was I talking about? Oh, yes. An uphill. Are those swings? I'm gonna go check those out. This is nice. English classes tomorrow. I hate that class so much. I think English is great, but the problem with English classes, most of them, is they're very, very structured, and you have to do things a certain way, and I'm sure it's probably very well known that English and writing is a very creative thing. And when a student is forced to follow a structure like that, it kind of makes that creative path in your brain slowly deteriorate. And yeah, I guess it's reasonable that I'm taking a class like this because a lot of the writing that I will be doing will be professional writing, and if my language doesn't line up with the professional standard, then I'm in trouble, I suppose. For the most part, the writing that I'll be doing will be writing memos and such to my engineering teams or things of that matter. But other than that, besides emails, there really isn't much else that I would be writing that I could imagine. I don't know. I mean, when I was working as an intern at an engineering company, I didn't really do any writing at all, and I spent several summers there. Granted, they were a small company and not as structured as a large corporation, but that's a pretty good indicator that most of my work won't involve a whole lot of writing. The one thing I don't like about swings is they make me feel very sick, so I'm going to actually probably just stay on these but stop swinging. I just ate a big dinner, so it's still sitting in there. So yeah, English classes tomorrow. I'm not looking forward to that. I'm going to be turning in my latest assignment, which is an essay, an essay of an analysis, which is like really hard to get right. And like half of the class is confused about it, and the teacher is blaming it on us for not understanding it correctly. I don't know. Supposedly it's one of the hardest essays in the class, so after that's over, it should be all downhill. Hopefully, downhill is good and not bad. I just look at the map and realize I am 4 miles away from my dorm. I didn't realize I skated so far. I guess time goes by fast when you're talking to yourself. I guess technically I'm basically talking to myself. If I were to not upload this, I would be talking to myself. But I'll pretend I am talking to a viewership, so I don't think of myself as a crazy person. I'm pretty crazy regardless, though. My plan is to shake all of this sand out of my shoes that somehow got in there. That's annoying. Arrgh. Anyways, my plan is to... that exposure. My plan is to listen to music on the way back and pay attention to the ground so I don't have any accidents. So I'll probably end the vlog here at some point when I feel like I am done talking. My shoes are really getting ripped up. Just look at that. So many rips. I'm a runner and I've run quite a few miles in those shoes. It gets close to 800 miles, 800, 900, somewhere in there. And the suggested replacement mileage is 300 miles. So I am well above that limit. But they stood up fairly well. It probably won't last much longer if, oh, you know what? Ow. Check that out. That's probably from trying to break with my shoes on my skateboard. So I guess that's not the proper way to brake on a skateboard. Go figure. I'll have to find out another way to manage that. I feel like there's something else I want to talk about. There's always something I want to talk about. Just kidding. I guess I'm done now. So, yep, I guess that's it.